They say never to rent to friends and family. But what about when the house is the family? You inherit your childhood home, and suddenly everyone's got an opinion. Keep it, rent it, let it pay for college. And at first, sounds like a win. The mortgage is low, the market's strong, the memories are priceless. You don't want to part with it. But here's what nobody tells you: turning your family home into a rental might just turn your family against each other. The worst part, you never see it coming. You'll think you're honoring your parents' legacy. You'll think it's a smart move financially, good business. And one day, you find yourself in a group text arguing about a plumbing bill and wondering how the hell they got this far. So let's slow down. Let's really talk about what it means to become the landlord of your childhood home. All right, because this decision, it's big and it's more complicated than it looks. There's a lot of moving parts. You inherited the house. Okay, now everyone's asking, what are you going to do with it? Why don't you just keep it and rent it out? Right? Your aunt, your uncle, everybody. Sounds smart. It's good on paper. You keep the asset. You get to build equity, maybe even make a little monthly income after it's all said and done. But the question nobody's asking is, you really want to be a landlord? I'm a landlord. And the landlord of your childhood home? Whoa. Let's talk about what that really means. Okay, financially, legally, emotionally. All right. Whether it's the right move for your family and for you. When someone inherits a house, there's this kind of default instinct to just hang on to it, to keep it, especially if it's paid off or close to paid off. All right. Renting it out seems like a no-brainer. All right. You hear stuff like, hold it for the kids, be for the next generation, use it as your retirement plan. All right. Why give it up when the values are just going to go up forever? They keep climbing. And I get it. I get it. I get it. I've helped families do just that. I've been a landlord myself, but I've also helped a lot of people clean up the mess after that plan didn't go the way they thought it would. Okay. So here's the truth. There are three things that you need to seriously consider before becoming the landlord of your childhood home, your legacy home. Okay. All right. First, listen, it's not just property, it's emotion, right? It's a big emotional anchor. You're not buying some duplex off of Zillow. You're inheriting memories and everything that goes with that. And that means it's harder to be objective and harder to make good business decisions with that. Every scratch on the wall is a story, and every repair feels personal. And when a tenant damages something, or even just changes it, it's going to feel like a gut punch, right? They're dishonoring your parents' memory. Second, landlording is a job. You're now in charge of tenants and toilets and trash and taxes and insurance and everything else goes with that. You're legally responsible for habitability, fair housing, compliance, and ongoing maintenance. And if you live out of town, good luck managing that from 400 miles away. Okay, it's difficult. Third, and this is a big one, you may be just delaying conflict but not avoiding it, okay, by renting it out. A lot of heirs agree to rent out the home thinking it'll buy time to kind of make a decision later. Everybody might have a different agenda, but guess what? Most families don't suddenly get alignment over time, right? They tend to get more frustrated, especially if one sibling's doing all the work, managing the rental, and the others are getting a check, right? So if you're already feeling that tension at the beginning and you're at the start of these conversations and you want to avoid the drama before it starts, I made something for you. It's a free guide, and it's called How to Sell a Family Home Without Drama, okay? And it's not just about selling. It's about making the decisions, what path you might want to take with that home, okay? And without tearing each other apart. You can download it at my website, anteperkoff.com, or click the link below on YouTube, okay? I had a client once, 3 siblings, inherited their parents' home in Redondo Beach, California. Okay. One of them, Diane, had this dream of turning it into a rental and using it to pay for her daughter's college. And the others weren't sure, but they agreed, mostly to kind of avoid conflict with Diane. Didn't want to have a fight, right? Fast forward 2 years later, house is rented out, but issues came up. all right, from the start, right? The first tenant flooded the bathroom, all right, and never reported it. So by the time Diane flew back into town to check on everything, floorboards were warped, right? And there was mold that started growing under the vanity. Okay, she paid out of her own pocket to fix it because she felt she was responsible. But then she asked her siblings to reimburse her, right? So now they're saying, you can guess it, you wanted to keep the house, not us. This is your problem. All right, so suddenly this dream investment property becomes a family fracture, right? This friction, right? Diane's paying the taxes and insurance while they all argue over who owes what. And that kind of resentment, it doesn't go away. It's not easily healed. And that's not a rare story. That's what happens when people kind of keep a home because they're emotionally attached to it and they don't really make a business plan to go through with it, okay? I didn't walk through the logistics. Let's talk numbers. Hypothetical, right? $3,000 a month sounds awesome until the first 500 maybe goes to property taxes. Another $300 goes to insurance, okay? Especially these days. 200 might go to a manager. Another 300 or 400 goes to maintenance and vacancy reserves, things like that. And now it's taxed as income. All right, you're not pocketing $3,000. Okay, you're lucky to clear $1,200, right? Sometimes, and that's if everything goes smoothly, which it never does, at least not in my life. Okay, that's not passive income. That's active stress. Now, I'm not saying keeping the home is a terrible decision. I'm not, right? But I am saying you have options. One sibling can buy out the others and turn it into a rental on his own. But that needs to be documented properly, and that needs kind of good conversations, transparent conversations. You can rent it out temporarily while preparing for a sale if everyone agrees, or you can sell, divide the proceeds, and invest in something that's not going to call you at 2 a.m. because the bathroom flooded or the hot water's out. Whatever you decide, the key is to decide together with clarity. Not out of guilt, not out of nostalgia, not out of pressure, and definitely not because someone said, well, you should probably keep it. If your parents were still here, would they want you stressed and fighting with your siblings over a house or getting sued by a tenant just to keep the house? Or would they want you to make a clean decision, the best decision for you, and one that respects the past but moves everybody forward together? Because the real legacy isn't the house, right? It's the way you handle it. It's how you work together. And if you haven't already, go download that free guide, How to Sell a Family Home Without Drama, and it'll walk you through some of the stuff I briefly talked about, every option. Keeping, renting, selling, buying each other out, all that good stuff. It's all packed with practical steps that I've learned working with families maybe just like yours. All right, you can get it at my website, anteperkoff.com, or hit the link in the description. And if you're dealing with an inherited home right now, whether you're thinking about selling it or renting it or just not sure what you want to do next, let's talk. Reach out. You do not have to figure it out alone. That's what I do all day, every day. I want to help protect your assets and your relationships, not just the real estate, but the whole package. All right. Thanks for watching. Please like the video, subscribe if you find this helpful, and please share it with someone who you think might need it. And I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.